Hey guys, Loco here with Froggen. Unfortunately, off of a loss to Team Liquid, it was going to be a hard game. Froggen, what do you expect would happen versus Team Liquid? Did you guys think you had a great shot?
I think we expected exactly what happened in the game, really. They usually just play pretty standard, I think. There's not really a lot of surprises, and then all of their players are just like really good and know what to do. So that's kind of what they're doing every single game.
So last week, you guys were able to get 2 wins off of Karthus, and TL didn't end up banning Karthus until the second phase. Were you guys planning to pick Karthus if they didn't ban it at all?
I think, people are scared of Karthus for whatever reason. I think it's just a pretty strong pick, like for jungle as well. So I don't know if I expected them to ban Karthus. I feel like it's a little troll if you can't counterpick Karthus when we have to blind pick it. I think they just wasted a ban, honestly. Maybe they didn't know what to ban or something.
Yeah, they could have always counterpicked Karthus with LeBlanc, right?
LeBlanc was banned.
So, for people that don't know, there's this infamous Froggen counterpick LeBlanc Karthus thing. I'm sure you can explain it better than myself. Could you explain it to people watching?
Yeah, I think now with new runes and like new keystones and everything, it's like LeBlanc is actually able to just get through early lane fine. So there's not really like you can just walk up and just kill her all the time. But back in season 4, it was like LeBlanc was very popular and Karthus was played by like people that play Karthus regularly. So I would play Karthus a lot, and then there would be a debate whether Karthus beats LeBlanc or LeBlanc beats Karthus, and everyone is just LeBlanc beats Karthus because it's like, okay, you just go ahead and burst him and he can't do anything. But I think Karthus actually just wins pretty hard. Like it's possible to win now, but it's definitely like LeBlanc can just go for farm, and when she gets some levels, she will be like really good in the game because obviously Karthus can't stop her from assassinating anyone. So it's like a debate from 4.5 years ago now, but yeah.
So when Karthus was banned, you still had a champion to pull out, Anivia. How much did you guys prep that? And also, Inero told me if they banned Karthus last week, they had a special pick prepped. Was that Anivia? And if it wasn't Anivia, of course you don't have to say.
No, it was not Anivia for last week. This week with Anivia was mostly because we see a lot more like immobile carries and things like that. Outside of S-roll, it's mostly immobile champions. So when they pick like champions that are just immobile, and we know Jensen is gonna go for an immobile mid like 99% of the time. So they have immobile top, immobile mid, and immobile AD, and then Alistar is pretty short range for the combo, so he's kind of immobile too. So I just think it's actually a pretty good pick, and for how like we're trying to play out the game where it's like there's gonna be like a lot of fighting and stuff like that. It's not so much a split push. I just think it would be like a solid pick, but that was not the special pick. There's other stuff.
So there's still a special pick that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, it's not like I'm just trying to play a lot of different champions, but depending on what the enemy team will pick and like how we want to play and everything, I'm just gonna pick whatever looks the best,
So there's this theory going on from analysts and coaches where NA teams don't play the game properly, and because teams are pretty bad about ending the game, you can draft late game scaling comps and just kind of lose the early game, and the enemy team won't end, and you'll end up winning because you'll outscale the enemy team. And you guys used to play really proactive with like Mage's top lane from Hanser, and now it seems like you guys are approaching the game that way also, where it's more geared towards late game team fighting. Is that a good way to win in North America? And also, is that a way you guys are playing?
I think from all the regions you can see there's late game picks popping up. I do think it's true that America definitely takes it more slow than other regions, but like I'm not saying NA is not like, I'm not saying NA is super good or anything, but I do think because people have the mindset of NA is bad, it's like no matter what NA is going to do, people are going to call it bad no matter what. So I kind of just take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, like you have other regions, you have some teams like dominating everything, TL dominating NA too. It's like, I don't know how they would match up against each other because I think TL is like pretty good. So I feel like it might be closer than what people would expect.
What about for you guys? Did you guys definitely change up your playstyle into being a more of a late game scaling?
Not really. I think, like, actually for the Karthus games, I'm really like unhappy with how the games went in both early games, because I think Karthus is an early game champion. Like, when you pick Karthus, you're actually meant to like snowball the early game, and he's extremely strong at that. It's like the best thing he can do, because obviously he has his ultimate. But also, I think for anyone that mains Karthus, they know he's absolutely insane in early game. So if he fights more, it's actually better for him, since he will just be able to pick up a lot of kills, and his skirmishing is very strong, especially when he goes into Rod of Ages. It's just like, it's all strong items for skirmishing and things. And then with the rune build, where you can have Presence of Mind and you can have Ravenous Hunter for the healing, it's just, he actually just doesn't die. So when you play against things like Lysandra, if they go full AP, you're able to survive it, and you can just keep on fighting. Like, it's really close whether you're going to get one shot or not, and if you do get one shot, you're pretty much always trading one for one. So how we are able to play it, where we basically just gave up all the control, and we didn't like approach our like vision setup, how we play around priority, we didn't like do it well at all. And I'm really, really unhappy about that. There's still things we had issues with in the TL game, and it's definitely something that's big to fix, because I mean, when we played it in scrims, we actually just mashed through every single team from when we started the game and then till it finished. And it's like, we didn't fail to do it a single time in scrims, so doing it on stage and it kind of failing, and then we end up winning anyway is obviously fine. But it's like, I think it's actually just a strong pig into a lot of setups that teams were running in that week, and like any other team could do the same. But
So there was a lot of doubters for Golden Guardians, and especially for yourself, because you came off the solo queue. Last time you played was, I think, European Masters. So I asked you this before on Listen Loco, where you see yourself in terms of the whole world, and you said, I've actually never lost to a really great international player, so it's hard to place myself. But at least in NA, you get to scrim versus all the North American mid laners, and you get to play on stage with them. Where do you see yourself currently amongst all the North American mid laners?
I think from scrims it's hard to place, because obviously scrims is so different, and scrims has been going like well in the start, but I mean, how the team is performing and stuff is like, the blame is like on everyone, including myself. So I don't think like anyone on our team is super good right now with how we are playing. Like, everybody needs to step it up, and it's like the last week and now this game against TL, we have seen signs of improvement. Our communication in game and stuff has been a lot cleaner. I think for like just the gameplay and mechanics in itself, I have been able to execute what has been like required of me in those 5 games. I don't think it's been like, I think everything has been much more about how we work together as a team than how it has been how we play individually, because everyone is good individually, but how we play together is just like really, really poor right now. So we still have a lot to work on, but it's stuff that has been getting better over the last like week or 2.
You totally dodged the question. Where do you see yourself?
No, I mean, if I'm just able to one-on-one people and just go at it, I think I'll win every single time. I mean, I don't really think it would be that close. I mean, obviously matchups and stuff depends a lot, but I think I'm able to. So if you have matchups where it's like you play one side of the matchup and you switch the matchup and play it too, I think I'll end up being better off with like either having like more CS or like pressure or something. It's like, I think I would end up always having an advantage, but being able to see that if you can't do team play together, it's impossible. Like 5 CS is just going to get nullified with 1 minion wave if like you're not able to work together as a team. So it's really difficult to say, but I think from last time I played, I mean, I played in EU Masters and I had no problems laning against everyone. Everyone just ended up going Banner of Command champions against me. So they're playing fucking Karma with Banner of Command. They're playing Sion with Banner of Command. And those players are playing in the EU LEC right now. And I had absolutely no problem against them. And same thing when I played in a summer split. It's like everyone is banning out champions that would actually be able to duel 1v1 in lane. Like Lucian is banned every single game, or I pick it and I always win. It's like, I don't know. I think I'm able to do it every single time. I think I'm still able to do that. when Akali and Aurelia was in the meta, it was still banned against me, even though a lot of people are like, he plays Vega, Anivia, Lux and stuff on stream. It's like those were banned every single game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, obviously people are afraid of me playing those champions for a reason. But I don't know. I think in this meta, it's like you can go for outplays and stuff, but it really depends on how your team wants to play. So I don't know. I want to be a player that is able to do like whatever the team is required while being able to like add my own style into it, I guess.
So Froggen, thank you so much for the interview. Do you have any final words for fans or anyone watching?
Yeah, thank you guys for following me. It's been a pleasure. That's pretty much it, I think.
All right. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed the interview, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much to Low Key Community for making this interview happen. If you guys want to support them, the link is going to be down in the bio.